Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Kosher, and you are now listening to From the East Side with Love. Please check out our website, FTESWL.com, where you'll find up-to-date news about sports, entertainment, and social topics. Also, please subscribe to us on iTunes and SoundCloud. It's going to be where your heart resides and your ears listen. FTESWL.com.
Yo, what up, everybody? You are now listening to From the East Side with Love. As always, it's your boy Kosher. You're not gonna go, dog? You just gonna stay there quiet?
Yeah.
There's no like, all right. Oh, hey guys, we have I mean, you guys know that. You guys should know. You should know who that voice is. JC, what's going on, bruh?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
You know the people are gonna know what happened and where you been at, man. So at least let the people know how you been, bro.
I'm still alive. Still alive. Maintaining the dog. It's getting real out here with Trump. I'm in the neck of it, so we're gonna post up, man.
You are in the neck of it, dog. I mean, you know, I'm surprised that you're taking it head on, being over there. I think I told people where you're at already. If they don't know, you in down South Texas, and you're not there for barbecue. Let's say that, huh?
Yeah.
So, but how's it over there, bro? How do you like it compared to the SoCal life, man?
Off top. Traffic trash. I mean, the whole myth about Los Angeles having the worst traffic, I can't believe it, because the skill level of driving is so trash that the traffic is horrendous. I literally had a job where I had to drive around 4, 5, 10, 5. These little freeways out here just be packed for no reason. No traffic. I mean, there's a traffic every day out here. Cars on the side of the freeway every day. You know, there's a car on the side of 405. They're gonna strip that thing down. But here they just be sitting here. Blows my mind, dog.
I would think though, like, you know, being over there, there'd be like, you know, tractors and horses and everything on the highway. Because I don't know, Texas don't seem like the place that. I mean, they have a lot of oil over there, so I guess I could see a lot of cars just being around and about. But traffic's pretty bad. That's an interesting thing, man. Freaking.
Oh yeah, niggas is on horses too, though. You just see horses. People taking their horses to McDonald's and stuff, though.
So it is a wild, wild west down there, man. Is that Trump wall coming through where you live, bro?
I'm a little up higher, but we'll see.
Yeah, man. I'm sure. Hey, I think maybe one of the great things about Texas is that they probably have a lot of like border security out there, huh?
Yeah, it's like, but you know, cartel, they run everything up through Texas, so it's gonna be difficult for Trump.
Oh man, yeah, man. I know your neighbors is probably pissed because supposedly that wall is gonna be like split some parts of Texas where it's supposed to be the American side, where if that wall actually does get built, they're no longer gonna be American. So, you know, that's some segregation for you right there.
Yeah, man.
FTESWL.com.
And this to say on Trump, because there was this thing last year in New Jersey where there was a message about Trump for the April 26th, some future message, and me and Kosher we're actually from the future right now. We're in June 1st, 2017. It's a Thursday. That's the first day of the NBA Finals, and you already know who's playing. Warriors, Cavs, round 3. The trilogy. This probably won't be the end either. Who you got winning? This gonna be 7. It's gonna be 7.
It's gonna be 7. I got the Warriors, man. You know, KD healthy and back. They were playing with the whole KD, you know, calf injury, this and that, you know, and you see how the Warriors is handling business, man. Handling business in the Western Conference Final. I honestly think there's too much firepower to go 7, bro. Too much firepower.
But you have to bring into account Steve Kerr's health, because Mike Brown is the next chair down, and you know LeBron owns Mike Brown. He's the coach. So I definitely think the coach can outcoach Mike Brown if it comes to that. He ain't Luke Walton out there. Luke Walton showed he can win with that team, but I don't think Steve Kerr was kind of able to harness the craziness of Draymond Green. So while Steve Kerr there might be technicals, there might be suspensions, just like last year.
You make a great point. Mike Brown is the king of letting his team. So what's gonna happen with Mike Brown is that there's going Draymond Green or whoever is the actual leader of the Warriors is going to be able to bully Mike Brown. But with that being said, that is a veteran squad. Like this is they're gonna be again their third championship run, and now adding KD only fuels a more maturity process. So I don't necessarily think there is somebody as overpowering as LeBron was on those days back in Cleveland. And I do think that with that being said, like you saw what Kobe did with Mike Brown, and that didn't go too well. We saw what Mike Brown did with LeBron, and he got extreme success. Except they didn't win no finals or anything like that. Now with Steph Curry, KD, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, like I don't feel like that's a bad team for Mike to manage.
But you gotta remember last year what Steve Kerr was doing. He was making key strategic moves during the Grizzlies when they played last year. And he made a few great decisions when they had to play the Spurs, where he had Klay Thompson shutting down Zach Randolph when Zach Randolph was bullying when they didn't have Steph. He made a lot of good choices with the lineups. Now it's different now. KD adds now a height, and they go with that depth lineup of Draymond, KD, Klay, Steph, and Iguodala. Andre Iguodala.
You don't think they're gonna ride the wave of McGee?
He's been playing okay, man, but he's a Shaq and the Fool legend for a reason, and at the biggest, at the height, it's gonna be spooky.
You know, I feel like Zaza gonna get cut after the season. Like he's been trashed. I feel like you know, JaVale McGee has been riding this wave that I don't think the Warriors should, you know, go away from. The Warriors have problems with size, and Tristan Thompson being one of the best offensive rebounders, and you have Kevin Love down there doubling up on the post. Having Iguodala down there, you know, Kevin Durant's not going to bang in the to get offensive rebound. So, you know, that's gonna be that's an interesting like lineup, going small and going fast. But I mean, not to say that the Warriors are not efficient. Like they're gonna make their shots, but you know, if they slow the game down and they start missing, they're not gonna get too many second chance opportunities, which it can come down to that.
That is true.
But go ahead.
I definitely got the Cavs. Game 7.
Whoa!
Doing the impossible, and we're gonna stop looking to the future. We're gonna come to why I feel that way. And the Cavs easily took out the Pacers. Your boy Paul George choked every game away, disappeared every fourth quarter. His first time being swept, and of course Bron, who owns everybody in the East. And I'm gonna take you back. I was in a group chat with these guys, Kosher included, about Paul George coming to the Lakers. And I told these guys he's a good number 2. He cannot be a number 1. And in game 4, shot like 20-something%. He on the last play, last possession, turns the ball over, then gets it back. Instead of hitting an open Teague, wide open on the other side of the court, he throws up a clanker, hits nothing but backboard, game over. Just straight shot terrible. And who was guarding him? Just J.R. Smith guarding him the whole game. It's not LeBron. Now, I understand Paul George has to guard LeBron. LeBron still got his. He shot well over 50%, 30, triple doubles. We got 17 in the playoffs. He ain't gonna let Russell outdo him in them triple doubles in the playoffs. But Paul George just has J.R. Smith guarding him the entire series, and he stunk it up. And we all know he's playing like this to lead the team. But this playoffs, outside of the Warriors and the Cavs series, which we all know will be sweeps, the Warriors, it's the same as last year. The Blazers just can't close out that fourth. They lose every game in the fourth. Game 3, they gave it up in the third. This time a little earlier, but easy and sleazy.
Well, I mean, like your guards are and let's go. I'm gonna go with the Portland, and then I'll work my way back. Portland needs another player. They definitely when your guards are, I want to say 80% of your firepower. It's dope, but it's obviously doesn't translate well into playoff basketball against a team that's as loaded as the Warriors. So it's just always going to be a bad matchup because and it's funny. The Warriors, like any other team, the Portland Trailblazers, I even put them against San Antonio. The points that they're scoring could beat any other team. But then you're going against the number 1 offense in the league who could outdo what you're doing. I mean, because these games have been way past 100. So it's like, what's going on there? And it's not like the Warriors don't have defense. It's just these guys been on fire. And so, even though they still will shoot, the games will go past 100 easily. Again, like you said, the Warriors just still, for every 2 you make, they'll shoot a 3 and make it, and it's like, wow. Like, what can you do to keep these guys in the grave? And then nothing. Like, the Warriors going to come out. Like, I'm surprised that they still haven't broke the record that the Cavs did. The most, the 3-pointers in the game. I don't know. They're just saving that to go against the Cavs. I don't know what's going on, but it's just Golden State is just amazing when it comes to offensive power. And now let's go back when you talk about Paul George and the whole thing about him coming back, coming to the Lakers possibly. The way he looks like has exited his career in the Pacers. Looks like this season, he played well. Let's go back to when they got Jeff Teague, and I thought Miles Turner being the second year, I thought he's gonna be a beast, and I still think he has a chance to be a beast in the East. Paul George, I thought this team was primed to actually make a threat to the Cavs. The Celtics, and I don't know if I had Chicago. I knew the Knicks weren't going to do anything, even though Derrick Rose called them a super team and all that. No, but I actually thought Paul George was going to be able to harness and have this team actually looking like a threat. Now, they struggled mightily in the season, basically limped into the playoffs, and Game 1 was so deceiving because they kept up with the Cavs, and it came down to a CJ Miles missed 3. But I felt like because first game for Paul George, he was hot. And I was like, damn, this is it. But then Paul George starts calling out CJ Miles, and the next game is Lance Stevenson. Then the next game, I think he calls out the whole team. And in the fourth game, it's like, well, I mean, damn, nigga, Larry Bird's about to call you to leave. You know, like, it's not, I don't understand what happened. I don't know if, it's not looking good for his stock. I don't care if you want to leave. You know, I get it. Like, he needed help. You know, he was calling for help during the trade deadline. But the way he bowed out of Indiana was kind of disgraceful. I get, you know, the Cavs are better on every position, but this was bad, bro. Like this just left a bad taste in my mouth. And you know, I can understand what you're saying about Paul George, you know, being a number two because he played like a number two. He played like a number two, and so I don't know how that he played. Besides, I think the first two games he played, I want to say average. Like it's not, he didn't do anything that stood out to me. So it's like like that's not. It didn't sit well. It didn't sit well.
FTESWL.com.
Let's talk about some other things, man. Like, you know, we got.
Let me tie these two together. Where we had the argument that of Paul George versus Kawhi Leonard, who would be better at the time? Then we'll go 2000 before 2014, where George broke his leg. Many would tell you George was the better player, would be the better player. Both players are two-way players. Both are tall, lanky, can score. Game 3, Grizzlies versus Spurs. An absolute classic between Kawhi and Mike Conley. Kobe tweeting about Kawhi, saying this is his first son. He's in love. He's in that muse cage because he showed what you're supposed to do for your team when you're in this type of situation. You're in away, you're a home game, you put the team on your back. I think he scored maybe like 90% of his team's points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
he scored 16. He was in fuego.
Yeah, he scored like the last 16 points of the game going into overtime.
And he missed a few shots, and that did not deter him. He didn't look for his CJ Miles on the team. No, he said, "No, give me that back." And then he forces the overtime. And unfortunately, they lose the game. But just look at what Paul George did. He ain't went off like that since with the Heat in 2013, where we realized, oh, Paul George he's a star, but he's not a superstar. As Kawhi has showed, he is a superstar off of this game, and you can see the difference. So yeah, the Spurs, the pop system. He puts those players in to see they were 7-1 without Kawhi this year. But when it came down to that fourth and that OT, who was producing?
Kawhi.
There was nobody. Only Tony scored a few points, but Tony's 40 years old.
Well, yeah, and Tony and to Tony's defense, he said that Pop has strategically rested the veterans for times like this. So. And you know the running joke you and I have about how Tony, when it comes to the playoffs, he becomes like a top 5 PG in the game.
Yeah.
So he did what he had to do. Now, if you want to go about the Spurs, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna go into that right now, but we'll have to talk about LaMarcus Aldridge, right? You know that there's something.
Hey, that's where I'm going next. He then became a bomb.
Like, there's something going around with that, man, and I don't know if it's at a regular heartbeat. I mean, I'm not trying to make fun of any medical conditions or health scares or anything like that. But you know, when he was traded to the Spurs, arguably top 1 point power forward in the league, and going home, and we figured that he would be the rightful heir to Tim Duncan's throne.
Exactly. It's the beautiful two-player team. Kawhi, LaMarcus carry him for the next decade, like David Robinson and Tim Duncan.
And you know, adding adding another big man in Pau Gasol. For some reason, Pau Gasol hasn't found the fountain of youth. Like, if you want to talk about a player that played boo-boo, and then, like, because I guess he wanted to leave, or there was something mentally going on when Paul Gasol was on the Lakers, and then when he went to the Bulls, and then look at him at the Spurs. Like, not saying he's the same player, but he's playing more consistent than he was when he was on the Lakers. And so having two big men that know how to pass, that have, you know, an offensive prowess, they can have their back to the ball, they can stretch the floor with a three, they can hit any kind of jumper in the lane, and then they have defense. Like, and then, I mean, okay, like you said, a decade. Yeah, Paul Gasol is not going to stay there for a decade. Obviously, maybe 3 more years max left, and before he's like regulated to bench status. But and maybe not even that long. But yeah, you figured that these guys were going to be the pillars of the San Antonio Spurs, and I'm saying, when I say LaMarcus Aldridge is not the player that we saw in Portland, you know, much less the player that even we saw last year. And last year was a down year for him. And everybody even said that. They were like, you know, well, is it like stage fright? Like, this ain't the same, you know, Aldridge. And we saw Tim Duncan, like, literally die on the court. Like, this nigga was putting up, like, zeros. And like, not to say that Aldridge is following in his footsteps, but this is not the same player. I don't even understand, because you figure working under Pop, you know, Pop will get the most out of his players as he's done. This nigga has kept baby girl Manu Ginobili's career on life support for the last, like, arguably 3 years, bro.
Just out of respect to let him retire. Let him retire. Let him go out this way out of respect.
And there's an inside joke about why we call him baby girl, but no homo, of course. But LaMarcus Aldridge is not. I don't understand, bro. This guy could easily be trade bait for another team now, because he's not living up to anybody's standards right now.
Exactly, and this is how me and Kosher got to the Warriors Cavs finals lock. I needed the Spurs to sweep Grizzlies for them to stand a chance to get to the Warriors. They was 2-2 now.
2-2. Take that for data.
So. And it's just exposing the lack of true help, and definitely at the end of game 4, Pop had a few questionable decisions. He had David Lee out there longer than he should have, because he has some young gunners who can at least get some burn, at least give him some speed. Because there's a few plays where Zach Randolph's outrunning LaMarcus to the basket, and there's no footage of Zach Randolph running, jumping, or doing anything truly athletic. I think he's made one dunk in the past 10 years. He's doing it the easy way. I mean, so to get out hustled by Zach is that puts the eye on you.
When you got Vince Carter making more dunks than you, and Vince Carter is 40 and like 6'9", 6'7", and you about 6'10", 6'11", and you don't have no highlight reels, bro. I don't even think LaMarcus has like I don't even remember him going off this series yet.
Exactly, and he's known to at least go off a few games, drop a 40 and 20. I think in this game 4, I think he had maybe 10, 12, 13 points. Kawhi needs somebody to give 20 plus. He needs somebody to give him 20 plus. And we can look at the other teams in the West. The trademark tradition, start the podcast Clippers, already finished. Another injury to Blake Griffin, which every time we do an NBA podcast in April, the Clippers end up getting finished. I don't care if they beat the Jazz. They fooled to whoever they play the Warriors. They fooled. And we were just talking about how LaMarcus is considered like one of the top number 1 power forwards. Remember Blake Griffin was considered that?
Yeah. And
these guys are just washing. Blake Griffin was 26. This fool is young as hell, and he washed.
You know,
the Clippers flopping. You gotta build the whole team up.
FTESWL.com.
I read a headline. Is this the year the Clippers blow up? And Chris Paul being a free agent, I think Blake Griffin being a restricted free agent this summer, or possibly a free agent. I don't know if you can correct me on that, JC. Obviously, the two main pieces of the playoff runs consistently the Clippers have had because of these two guys. It's going to look funny in the light, man. We know Austin Rivers ain't going to be able to carry the team. And we know that DeAndre Jordan can't make his own shot, and he can't do anything without a Chris Paul. So, this is going to be some true gut checks for the Clippers. Will Doc Rivers even be able to still be the coach? I mean, I'm sure he might be the coach, but he ain't going to have a team. He's not going to have a team. It's will Chris Paul, chase a ring? Will Blake Griffin go to a team like the Celtics where, he could possibly excel? I would prefer him going to the Suns so he can have a health staff that could actually keep him upright. This guy has more toe injuries than Shaq. I don't know. Like you said, he's so young. I don't understand what is going on with the Clippers. I think it's the Kobe curse. They got robbed, or the Lakers got robbed of Chris Paul, and the basketball gods were like, well, okay, you guys could act like you could taste success, and I mean, I don't know if it's James Harden who put the base god curse on the Clippers or something, man. But even when they were up 3-1 and lost against Houston, the Clippers just hit these random ass walls that you don't even expect. Who would have thought Blake Griffin would have been injured off a bruised toe out for the season?
Exactly.
That it's just so random, so random. So
and both of these guys are unrestricted, and we know Chris Paul is not leaving Hollywood. Blake Griffin is not leaving Hollywood. DeAndre Jordan, he does not want to leave Hollywood. I've seen more State Farm DeAndre Jordan commercials than Steph Curry. These fools are not leaving. It's going to be on ownership, general manager, and Doc has proven he didn't give away all the first picks. And this brings up, do they talk to Melo? Do they talk to the Knicks? Do they work a deal out to bring in Melo?
Melo will be.
I mean, they're still not going to win, but
yeah, that Melo will be interested. Let's talk about Utah real quick, man. Gordon Hayward being is he restricted or unrestricted?
He's not sure about that.
He's a free agent though, guys, and either Utah throws the bank at him, which Utah is not is pretty much a conservative team. And, Gordon Hayward may feel like he needs that Hollywood burn. And I'm not saying he's going to go to Hollywood, but he may go to a more of a primetime team. And so, if Gordon Hayward leaves Utah, man, that's pretty much sets Utah back another 3, 4, 5 years, man.
Man, Utah always throws the bank at Gordon. They did it last time, and nobody was really expecting. So he's got a player option, so he'll probably stay. If Rudy Gobert don't get injured, the Clippers going home in the first round. They have a nice core, and they're one the smartest decision Paul George, Melo could make is go to Utah because they got everything you need to make a legit run. They just need just like Boston, they just need a true star that can carry the load. And they'll be able to eat. Everybody food. The West, there's nothing anybody in the West can do to stop the Warriors.
FTESWL.com.
I'll jump to the East. Boston struggling with the Wizards. They ain't playing the Wizards. Who are they playing?
The Bulls.
Ooh, they got players on the Bulls I didn't even know they had. I thought Wade had a season-ending injury. He seen there was a chance to make the playoffs. He came back, and they're being effective. But everybody talks about the Cavs ducking, the Bulls, the Wizards. The Bulls showed you shut down Jimmy Butler, and they have the players to do so. It's over for them. They don't have the shooting. The Wizards the same thing. A lot of these teams don't have the shooting to compete with the Cavs.
Yeah. No. The Celtics are a funny team. You know, I saw a headline that said, "Are the Celtics the weakest number 1 seed in recent history?" And I remember, I was texting you a couple of times, and I'm like, "Yo, why the Cavs listen to Atlanta in a random 2 games before the season ends, and you know, when they could easily have won the last 3 games or something like that to keep the Celtics at bay or whatnot." And it all goes down to matchups. You know, they were they ducking the Bulls or whatnot. Now, it's interesting because the Bulls look like a whole different team without Rondo. Their coach actually has to start coaching, and the unfortunate, untimely death of Isaiah Thomas's sister that played possibly a huge mental thing against Isaiah Thomas. But I mean, even though IT still being the best player of the Celtics, so it's weird because it's like, can that small guy get it done? You know, is he too small to get them? But then you would be like, come on, it's Chicago. Chicago wasn't even supposed to be in the playoffs technically. Like you said, Wade had literally a season-ending injury, but he came back. It was elbow or something. And so I don't know. The Al Horford I thought was going to be a great acquisition for the Celtics. I mean, he's not even putting up points that he did on Atlanta. I don't understand.
He ain't doing nothing.
He's not. I mean, he's a decent defender, but he's not helping Isaiah Thomas. Evan Turner is not helping. I don't understand. I mean, I've seen Kelly Olynyk score more threes than I've seen him ever do in his life. I don't understand what's going on over there at the Celtics, the way the team. I get it. Brad Stevens, coach, coach, he prides himself on defense, and the team is cool. I mean, the Celtics are I thought they were gonna have a great shot at beating the Cavs this year. Doesn't look like they're gonna do that, obviously. But they have a great draft pick, so maybe they get somebody in the draft that's cool. And this draft is deep this year, so maybe they put they get like you said, either the Melo coming or I don't know. Maybe Paul George goes over there. I don't know. But somebody or Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward going to the Celtics, man. That might be it. That might be it right there. And they'll have somebody that can shoot, and he plays decent defense as well. So they need somebody to be a threat. They need somebody to be an offensive threat. No disrespect to Isaiah Thomas, but he's too small. He's too small. And it's easy to let him go off, and that's it. You could just let him get 40, but the Celtics are only going to score 70, 80 points if he gets 40. So he has to be the distributor, literally, and it's not working over there. It's just not. They're not ready for playoff basketball this year, and it sucks. So I thought they actually had a shot with Al Horford. I thought Al Horford and IT were going to be able to, be that 2-man duo that we thought Aldridge and Kawhi were going to be.
Well, all this falls on Danny Ainge for not trading for Jimmy Butler and Paul George when he had the chance. Because those 2 pieces, and then I might see them giving a push to the Cavs But without them, it feels like IT systems that affected the team way more than it did him. He's playing with a heavy heart, so he's leaving everything out on the floor. But his team, they're not making his shots. There's no true number two.
Yeah.
Al Horford's soft. He don't want to rebound. He's awkward with the ball. It's who's going to test the Cavs? We can go to Milwaukee, Toronto, where Milwaukee Bucks, Jason Kidd, he has the team of the future. So where maybe 2-3 years, LeBron's on the downside, they can push. But every team left, they're probably going 6-7 games. They're going to be tired. And it don't even matter which Bucks, Toronto. I have the Bucks beating them in 7. They're still gonna be food. They're gonna be tired. Going to the Cavs, are gonna be rested.
You say that let's talk about that. The Bucks come out hard. Man. These guys have no fear. They're young guys. They out here running, they gunning. But it's not like Toronto is any older than the Bucks. But again, the same trouble that Portland's having with being so guard dominant and having your guards be the best players on the team, which is not bad. It's not bad. But then you look at the other guard, and you have Giannis, just towering and killing everything. But for some reason, Toronto, Carl, and DeRozan, they can't get on the same page in the same game. And
Kyle Lowry he's not a playoff player. He can make a few shots, but he's not going to produce the 20+ points that's needed. DeMar DeRozan, he's showing out. He's attacking the rim. He's getting to his spots. He had a bad game. I think it was a bad game 3.
Yeah, game 3, 0-8.
0-8, but he came back in the next game. It did not affect him.
Yeah,
Kyle Lowry has not. Where has Kyle Lowry showed up at all?
He hasn't. Oh, he showed up in game 1. But I mean, regardless, like he hasn't.
They lost game 1. It don't count if he lose.
They're still playing. They're still not playing on the same thing that they were doing in the regular season, and
never do.
And Carl Landry, like we thought that he got over the mental mistakes that was plaguing him last season, but I guess it's haunting him again, and I don't know. Valanciunas is good, and he helps them space the floor, but they don't have anything for the Cavs. They don't have anything for the Cavs, and Washington, as good as John Wall is playing right now, and Gortat, they don't have anything for the Cavs either.
Exactly. It's to take one bad shooting night.
Yeah,
and it's over.
And let's go. Let's even go further with Atlanta. I mean, Paul Millsap is playing his heart out. I think isn't he able to leave too if he wants?
Yeah, and he should leave.
He needs to leave. Leave.
Atlanta is a dude team. Dwight went to Atlanta to die. To get more cheerleaders pregnant, to just live that thought life. He didn't go down there to win. He didn't go down to score. He didn't go down to play defense. He went down there to relax, chill, live life.
He wanted to be back with his family, man. I don't. The thing with Dwight Howard though is it's unfortunate. This guy was supposed to be the most dominant big man in the league at one point in time, and he's back injuries, heathen off the court, like all the players, but just fake Superman antics and stuff like that just got him to at his graveyard, and it's not even his crossing roads anymore because it's past his crossing roads. Like I think even before he got to the Lakers, it was past his crossing roads.
Right, them back injuries has limited him to where he's not able to just bounce off the floor like he used to.
And so I feel sorry for him because
I don't.
Nah. Look, they're not calling him. It's so apparent they're not calling plays for this kid at all. Like they're not doing.
Hey, yeah, they show the chart where he don't get no touches. The coach was like, "Hey, put some effort in on defense, and we'll think about getting you the ball." He needs to set screens. But they show him he sets the laziest screens. And you remember when he was coming to the Lakers, he said he didn't want to run that pick and roll.
He does.
He didn't want to do them screens.
Yeah.
And this coach in Atlanta lab, you ain't gonna play you then. Hit the bench.
Exactly. The coach threw him to the bushes. They're like, "Yo, you could be out there. Yeah. You could be that person that gets the fouls for us, dog, and maybe clean up the board, but we ain't relying on you for anything." And so he literally doesn't get any touches. Like I think for the last 3 games, like he's probably barely had 10 touches. Literally the whole series. Like I think like you'll see like over 3, maybe 1 for 2, and then like he literally has no touches except unless he gets a rebound. So that's why I said I feel sorry for him because again, like you said, he has to set screens, and then when he sets the screens, he gets the ball. But I mean, he could literally follow the freaking DeAndre Jordan formula and eat, and he's always had that ability to do that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. He thinks he's bigger than some, and the guy's never developed a post game. So I like, and he's worked with literally the best big man. I mean, whether you go to the Dream, whether you go to Kareem, he's worked with the best big man in the league, and he still has Kwame Brown type post moves. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I feel sorry for him. And again, that team does not have anything for the Cavs. So Cavs, if we fast forward all the way back to Thursday, January or June 1st, man, like it's going to be the Cavs. It's going to be the Cavs, and they have no worries, man. Like they say Washington and the Bulls, those 2 teams had matchups for the Cavs, mixed mass matchups. But when you have Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, and I get it, in the end, it's not these 2 teams. But when you have Kyrie and Love on the bench in the 4th quarter, and they still beat a team in the playoffs away, nah.
Yeah, and let's be honest, no team left has a Paul George type defender who's been guarding LeBron the whole 4 games, and LeBron still 8.
Yeah,
he did what he wanted.
Yeah,
it's nothing like. And I'm gonna be honest. There's still exciting games left. Milwaukee, Toronto. You get to see the future, and you get to see really great basketball between. Well, not great shooting. The shooting is horrendous in these games.
Yeah,
but it's entertaining when it gets flowing. The Grizzlies, Spurs. Entertaining basketball. Mike Conley signed the biggest contract in NBA history. He showed why. He was pretty much the leader of the team. He scored. He facilitated. He played defense. He showed you why they gave him that contract. They wanted to keep him. Yeah. He matched Kawhi. And we've had it's official, Kawhi's superstar. And we have the two potential MVPs in Harden and Westbrook showing out game after game.
It's funny. I love Kawhi. I mean, I love Mike Conley. And I remember you and I sitting in Vegas looking at sports bars, looking at tickers, and looking at the Grizzlies go against the Warriors. This is the time when Mike Conley had that horrendous facial injury.
Mm-hmm.
And him just going off. And like I was like, yo, this guy's a beast. And I think you're throwing a little shade, not at that point. But I think you're like, like people were saying that because he's the second highest paid player. I think either the first or the second, right behind LeBron. LeBron and him are like 1 or 2 or something like that. But
he's number 1.
Okay,
LeBron's still taking them pay cuts for the team.
But LeBron's getting money though. LeBron's still getting like
he's still getting 30. Yeah, he's still getting 30.
Yeah, so I think he's still number 2. But
yeah.
But Mike Conley came up big. And look, and this is not even the full, and look, the new coaching staff, not even the full Grizzlies, because they don't have Tony Allen. And this is what I wanted to ask you, JC. I was talking to some homies and they were saying like, yo, that Houston could possibly beat San Antonio. And I was like,
Houston just has so many weapons.
And I was like, there's no way that could happen. I could not see. Houston has so many weapons, but I could not see them doing that. But then the way the Memphis, and it's not like Memphis has weapons, but they like these are two, and it's funny because like when you like these are two chess matching teams. Like these guys are just they play team ball. Grizzlies and San Antonio. Well, and this is kind of like not even the same team of last year. Last year when they went to the playoffs, they had Matt Barnes leading the team. And now let's flip it to this year. Like Mike Conley's there. They got Mike Conley back. Zach Randolph wasn't even starting, and now they put him they make him start, and then they went 2 straight. Like this team, Marc Gasol is healthy again. Like this team is like the way that they adapted. Again, take that for data. The way they've adapted to the Spurs and are able to grind the grindhouse, to grind through. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat the Spurs in San Antonio, but it's going to go 6 games. It's going to go 6 games. I don't think Memphis wins any other games, but they're going to make it hell when San Antonio comes back to Memphis, and I think Kawhi does the superstar, moves cage, and goes all in.
Exactly. And just to touch on what you're saying with the Spurs and Grizzlies, they have players that know their roles and play it the hardest. Like the Grizzlies had a few players. I'm like, who are these players?
Yeah.
They got Tyler Ellis III, where he's having an all-shoot night, so he's just playing all-out defense, trying his hardest to stop Kawhi Leonard. And obviously, when Kawhi's on, he's on. But he's hustling. He's in his space. He's not making it easy. So when you have players that can play their roles to the best, that makes for a great series. Nobody ever has faith in Houston when it comes to the playoffs because Harden always just disappears the deeper they get into the playoffs. And he's doing fine now. But the deeper you get, and especially with Kawhi guarding him, and Kawhi, who's gonna match him in points, I can't see the Spurs being stopped by no Houston. It'll be a great series.
It's scary. It's scary because everything you said, I would agree. If this was pre Lou Will, with post Lou Will, they got 3 players now that can hit. They can get their own shots. 3 being Ben Gordon the third. Eric Gordon, sorry, Ben Gordon. Eric Gordon being the third option. And so Lou Will, James Harden, and Lou Will don't have any pressure. That nigga, he just goes out there and kill. Like he's a savage. So if James Harden, let's say has an average night, scores a 20, that doesn't necessarily mean Houston's out of it because you got Lou Will, you got Eric Gordon, and Trevor Ariza could probably hit a clutch 3 or something like that. So I where's the firepower coming from San Antonio? Patty Mills plays well. Like he's gonna be on Lou Will. I know he's gonna be on Lou Will. LaMarcus has to step up this series.
Hey, he has to. Wait, he always plays well against Houston because you gotta remember. It's either last year or 2 years ago, he was lighting up Howard with 40s and 20s.
Yeah.
So that he might wake up because they don't have no size to stop him.
They don't have
size. Gasol and Randolph.
Yeah, they don't.
They're good interior defenders.
FTESWL.com.
They don't have size, and this is what's bothering me about the Oklahoma Thunder game. The Thunder should be able to use their size against Houston. I don't care how good Houston is able to space the floor. You make that a half-court game. Yes, Westbrook, you control the ball, great. Feed your big man, feed Adams. I don't care how bad they are shooting. This is how the Thunder should be able to break, because Adams is still a hell of a player than he was 3 years ago. Like, he's been okay. He's a gritty player. I know he's not like the most offensive player, but he's a gritty player. And Cantor, he's not bad. Like, these two guys can get you offensive rebounds, include them into the offense, feed them down low, slow down Houston, get them in foul trouble, which is what San Antonio can do with Paul Gasol and LaMarcus Aldridge, and slow them down. So I don't understand why Westbrook isn't able to utilize that. Because, okay, let's be honest. Oladipo trash. Oscar Robertson trash. Who else is on that team? Random.
Taj Gibson.
Random. Oh,
TJ McBuckets.
Yeah, McBuckets. Yeah, yeah. Nah, Taj Gibson, decent defender. So I mean, you could literally slow down Houston, because Houston wants to play a fast tempo, which is what's going to be like the nemesis to San Antonio. San Antonio needs to slow them down as well, because San Antonio doesn't have the legs to keep running around with Houston. So if Oklahoma were able to slow down Houston, they'd be able to be in a gritty 7-game series. I don't know if they would win it, but they'd be in a gritty series. I think they're letting Houston get to their spots way too easily. And as great as Westbrook is, he is relying too much on himself when he should be feeding the big man down low. That is why.
Well, that's your answer. The answer to the question is 2 words: young sabotage. When you got a player who will look open teammates in the eye and force up a shot, force up threes, and it's not like Kobe, it's not like LeBron, even Kawhi. Young sabotage. He throws away his IQ as well. He throws it down the drain, and the stat pattern, the pressures, the reasons why KD left, it becomes glaring. Young sabotage, selfish. He wants to grow for himself. I understand my man Victor Oladipo. There was times when people were saying he was the next heir apparent to Dwayne Wade, because he has the size, the strength, athleticism. He's done nothing. He finally came back for Game 3. Hopefully he can contribute in Game 4. But you gotta remember, Westbrook has the ball in his hands the most out of anybody up there with Harden. They both turn the ball over at a high percentage. They both don't give a damn about defense, especially team defense for the both of them. But the only difference is his Harden is efficient, and he has the shooters. Yeah. But you can just see, just from Game 3 alone, well, Game 2, Westbrook, when he gets out of control, he gets in that young Sabo mode, he can destroy any team.
That was probably, and look, I don't know if people are going to call him out on it, but I did. I was on Twitter like, yo, you need to pass the ball. 4 for 18 in the fourth is unacceptable. I don't care if you're the heart and soul of your team. I don't care if, you take the Kobe quote and you keep shooting. You literally shot your foot, your kneecap, your thigh, your chest, your ribs, and your neck, and yourself, because you killed the team, bro. You killed the damn team. And Billy Donovan needs to rein him in. Like, he's pulling a Mike Brown out there. Like, I get this is your best player on the team. I get he's literally the heart and soul of Oklahoma. But, nigga, like, what are you doing? Like, they had game 2 in the bag. Or at least it would have been it would have been better. Like, I think the outcome would have I think they would have won. Maybe not on the bag, but they would have had a better outcome. And look, again, Westbrook made leaps and bounds. I don't stat pattern or not, he made leaps and bounds this year. And like, he needs to go into the gym again this offseason and hit them shots. He needs to hit them shots. But to the benefit of James Harden, James Harden needs to work on defense. But one thing I can't take away is that he can shoot. He could shoot. And so, like, when Westbrook does his best LeBron impressions, it doesn't really work. And we see it. So, like, again, he needs to involve his playmates. I understand they're trash. I understand that, you know, they may not be. Because, look, Oklahoma has a problem. Nobody on their team can score more than 10 points. We're not even talking about 20. We want 20 from LaMarcus Aldridge, and we consider him a top 3-point power forward. You know, like, that 20 should be nothing for him. But we're talking about Oklahoma, and nobody can score a consistent 10 points off of Westbrook unless he's literally giving him the ball. And I don't know if this is because of what you're saying, like, you know, maybe the whole stat padding thing, and the team has caved in so much. You know, like, it literally, it's kind of like them Kobe days where, like, nobody else can literally do anything except for Westbrook. I don't know if that's it, but we know in today's NBA, no one player, unless you're LeBron, and this is the one thing that if Westbrook wants to win, he needs to draw fouls. But he settles so much for the jump shot, he won't get those fouls. So he has the ability to powerhouse and do everything. He needs if he literally wants to win, because he's what, 6'3", 6'4". He has the quick. He needs to play with his back to the basket. He needs to get them post fouls. Like, that's the only way I could see Westbrook winning. But he's not going to do that. So, I mean, if he's not going to pass the ball, he's not going to play his back to the basket, then there's only two other things you're gonna hope for. He either gets hot, and then, you know, his team feeds off him, or they lose. And, you know, they're gonna go up in flames against Houston, and I don't know, bro. Like, it's gonna be interesting. But, you know, Houston is such a slippery fish, because I don't like the fact that they're so deceptive in the fact that they can shoot with the Warriors, though. That's the thing. Like, JC, like, I don't understand that team. I don't understand Houston at all, bro. They could.
Yeah. Houston only does two things: shoot right at the basket, 2 feet away, 3 feet away, or a 3-pointer. There's no mid-range game. They're not looking for jump shots. They're attacking the rim, or they're throwing the 3 out. They're doing it hot. I think they set the record for most threes took in the season.
Yeah,
they're chucking. And of course, it'll be an exciting series: Houston versus the Warriors. It'll definitely be a great series to see, but I can't see them getting by Spurs.
Yeah,
because Kawhi is number. We're talking about best players in the league. He's number 2 behind LeBron. No diss to Westbrook. No diss to Harden.
No diss to Curry.
No diss to my man Curry. No diss to KD either, because KD's been hurt this year, so we're gonna have to. And Curry struggled the first half of the season. He back on, but Kawhi throughout the whole season. The only thing that's stopping Kawhi from getting MVP is that he only has 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Everybody else is 8+.
So then, how do you see a San Antonio versus Warriors matchup go? Obviously Patty Mills gonna have to step up. Like, he's gonna, not that he's not stepping up, but Patty Mills, you're gonna need Manu Ginobili. You're gonna need his spark. Again, it's gonna be a matchup problem. Again, I think
it's gonna be big. I got the Warriors. It's 5 against the Spurs.
Woo!
Just for the simple fact they are resting KD. Before KD got hurt, he's playing some of his best defense in a long time. So that's Klay Thompson, that's Andre, and that's Kevin, all guarding Kawhi Leonard, doing their best to stop this guy. Let's say Kawhi's got to worry about KD, they'll just get Klay going. Kawhi's going to have to worry about Curry. Kawhi's going to have to guard everybody. I understand Danny Green's still out there. Patty Mills is going to hustle. They have some young guys there who don't get no burning. But come on, there's just too many options for the Warriors to slow down Kawhi, but Kawhi can't slow everybody down.
So then let's go back to Thursday, June 1st. You go 7-game series.
7.
But I go 6 games and I go Warriors and I go who gonna stop KD? You're not putting JR on KD. You ain't putting Tristan Thompson. You put LeBron on KD. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then who gonna stop Curry? You put JR on Curry. You gonna hide.
They're putting Kevin Love on them.
Who gonna stop
Curry
Thompson?
stopper.
Who gonna stop Thompson? You gonna put JR on Thompson?
Hey, JR did a good job on Paul George.
I'll take that. Nah, but Thompson's a better shooter. I'll take that. I'll take that. Nobody stopping Draymond Green. And what's gonna happen is Draymond Green is gonna be the one who's gonna bring the ball up. So you could have you could have Kevin Durant bring the ball up. Like the one thing that's gonna be extremely important in this NBA series or in this playoffs this year is that whole rest factor that's been greatly exaggerated. But I'm not. It is what it is. Who gets the most rest? Because if LeBron is playing, like, let's say any of these East Coast teams puts LeBron to like a 6-game series, which would be pushing it because I don't think they're gonna have that much trouble. But a 6-game series would say something, especially if it's like the ECF Eastern Conference Finals. A 6-game series going into against the Warriors would be something, and like I think the Warriors provide way better matchups and way more disruptive matchups than the Cavs versus now. But again, what the Cavs have are size, and it's funny size. I'm just down low again. Kevin Love, Thompson, which is gonna hurt the Warriors if they miss shots. But I don't know. Like I don't know. Will Kyrie keep going off? Like, and I'm not. He hasn't gone off. He hasn't gone off yet. He's been coasting, and then he didn't need to. He didn't need to go off. Korver's gonna have to step up. They had Chaney Frye. They had Richard Jefferson make big shots last year. Korver's gonna have to. He's gonna have to play Atlanta. He's gonna have to play Atlanta, Korver, because Korver does well in the playoffs when he was with Atlanta. And so they brought him to be able to stretch the floor, and that's exactly what you're gonna have to do against the Warriors. I just if the Warriors were able to have won last year, which they could have, in all the essence of the purpose without KD, you just added literally like the third best player in the league on your team. Like how are you gonna stop that? That's just I get it. There's only one ball, but you just added the third best player in the NBA, like literally in the world on your team. Like how does that like? They were just one game away, JC, from winning it again. Back to
back. And again, the answer to the question is again 2 words: 3-1.
Yeah,
which shows anything is possible. I don't give a damn about KD. The team, let's be honest, the Warriors are better than the Cavs last year. They still threw away 3-1. They still threw it away. Know why? Because Curry, who has never won a Finals MVP, disappears. Now Clay has not gone off. You given all these variables. We've seen Durant in the playoffs last year. Nothing to write home about. Literally, Draymond Green is the only player who has shown up since last year, who has consistently gave his all out in the finals. Everybody else is suspect. They shown they don't have the heart to close out.
You can't. You can't. Okay, Curry. I gotta stop you. Curry was injured. Like we come on. We gotta.
I didn't hear no excuses.
We gotta take that. We gotta take that.
Everybody injured. Everybody injured when you get to the finals. I just seen LeBron by himself, Love and Kyrie, and this is we used to have a talk like, man, maybe LeBron slowing down close the regular season. He comes out like this.
Yes.
So that's telling me LeBron is no longer in chill mode. It's Henry Bron time. And Henry Bron can guard all 5 players on the Warriors. LeBron can guard himself.
Yeah,
whoever get hot, LeBron come over, elbow him, do what he gotta do.
But okay, let's go Kawhi then. Kawhi could do the same thing.
But Kawhi is not the playmaker that LeBron is. That he can elevate these bums.
He shouldn't have to. I mean, he has LaMarcus Aldridge. Just like
but this is how it happened. LeBron has always owned KD, just like he's owned Paul George, just like he's owned the Eastern Conference. I'm looking at KD. He is yet to take that next step in the playoffs, like a Kawhi. They have all these weapons, but you have to look. The Blazers are giving them everything. We all close games with the Blazers. Just the Blazers, who again, they have the size, they have the link with their players to at least compete with these guys.
Let me ask you.
All you have to do is watch this and make little adjustments. Because again, Dame Lillard is still 6 foot. CJ McCollum 6'3". These are little guys. So when you can't get your shot off because Klay Thompson is 5-6 inches taller than you, that's going to be LeBron in that position. Driving, and he's going to dump off the Kyrie Irving, who you know owns Curry. Is this who is the best player in the league? And who was one of the best playoff performers in the league? They're all on the Cavs. I was right. I never read off the Cavs. We talked about it. I'm like, until I see these niggas get beat, I ain't never gonna down them. And it's like the regular season never existed.
Let me ask you this. If Rondo didn't have a season-ending injury, possibly, would the Bulls be the best team to match up against? Because the playmaking ability of Rondo with his fountain of youth, his Lazarus pit that he's doing on the Bulls, and I get it. The Celtics are not the Cavs, especially offensively. Would the Bulls have legitimately have been that matchup problem that people may have said?
This is a funny thing because the craziest thing is the Bulls are playing better without Wade. Wade being on the court with Butler and Rondo was just a shooting nightmare. So that alone is going to hinder them. But right now with Rondo, they took them 5. They might have won the game just because Jimmy Buckets, he's showing out. He wants that trade. He wants to leave. But again, it'll just come down to Jimmy Butler. And he's kind of like in a Kawhi situation. I understand Wade is doing this thing, but he's hampering that team. They played way better without Wade. They got back into the playoffs without Wade, just to show you they were going nowhere with him.
Yeah, they call that a blessing and a curse, man, because they wanted that team to blow up so bad. The Bulls franchise, they wanted the Bulls franchise to blow up so bad, and now that they're fighting, against the Celtics, and a good chance of winning. I mean, I don't know what will happen, but they're like, man, this giving the front office that confidence they need to think they could, do what they're supposed to do, and then a lot of angry Bulls fans. So let's wrap it up with this, man. Arguably, and it's funny because we talk about Chris Paul, we talked about Blake Griffin. Arguably, the biggest player besides these three, at least popularity-wise, who isn't a restricted free agent, isn't a free agent at all. He would just have to waive his no waive cost, no trade clause, his player clause, and Melo. Having probably the roughest year of any player, in the league, especially for who he is, with his status. Let's take it back towards the beginning of the year. You got George Karl out here calling him a fatherless nigga. And a spoiled little brat, just straight coming at this nigga's throat, dog. We're talking about George Karl, nigga that had cancer, just coming out ruthless, dog. Like he had nothing. Like Carmelo was just, I don't know. I don't know why he came out Carmelo the way he did on his book. Then you got Derrick Rose calling the Knicks, a super team, and the Knicks don't even hit the playoffs in the East, right? You got Melo self-destructing basically, against Phil Jackson, limping into the All-Star game basically because of injuries, and Phil Jackson and him just going bar for bar, and they lose Brandon Jennings because I don't know, just the team just gave up. You got Porzingis, just he don't even want to be in America, dog. He's so mad at the team. Got the whole team boycotting the triangle. And then you got Lala now, man. You got Lala out here doing power. Showing some tatas. And now we got Melo out here. They say that he got a girl pregnant. Rumor was she's a stripper. But I guess, I don't know, she's some educated thought. I don't know what it is, man. And he has a huge thing on his shoulder, man. Whole team hate him. Well, I don't know if the whole team hate him, but Phil Jackson doing his hardest. He's trying to get this man off the team. His hardest, dog. Doing everything but able to trade him because, again, Melo has a no trade clause. And
we gotta be honest here. That there has not been no bar for bar between Carmelo and Phil.
Them IG
Carmelo Anthony has taken the high road every time. He has not said anything. He's played it cool. It's Phil losing his mind. I've never heard a president come out and say, "Nah, Carmelo Anthony will do better elsewhere. He should leave the team." This is a president. When has a president ever said that? Jimmy Buss has never said nothing crazy like that. Sam, I've never heard a president say anything like that in any sport. They come out and say, "Hey, you'll do better elsewhere. I want you off my team." The team supports him. Porzingis literally left America because they're sick of the treatment of Carmelo. And I've heard a lot of former players, a lot of analysts say that Carmelo should just stick it to Phil Jackson and just stay until his deal is up. Just to show you who's boss. I guess they both got another 2 years. Phil re-up for 2 more years. And Melo has a few more years to his player option. He ain't gonna make the same mistake he did last time where he gutted the Knicks just to come early. He's gonna stay until he can make the best decision possible. Maybe the GM clear some roster. Maybe the Clippers when he becomes a free agent. But nah, Carmelo has been utmost professional in this situation. Phil Jackson, I see why Jenny left this nigga. Ego too big. Hey, everybody hates the triangle.
I mean,
everybody
hates the triangle. I'm not. But you think that Melo should stay, or you just saying that he will stay?
I feel like he will stay, but he should, just so he doesn't gut a team. There's no trade that's going to be fair. The Jazz have some young pieces, and obviously Boston has the pieces. But why not just screw Phil over for a year or two and then go to an even stronger Boston Celtics and join the Clippers, even though they're not going to be – there's no threat. That window for Clippers being a championship team closed in 2014. But you'll be excited. You'll be playing now and sold out crowds in Los Angeles. The Latina thoughts they're extra heavy in California.
I mean, my whole thing with Melo is this, man. Like, does he want to win? That's
He would never sign with the Knicks if he wanted to win. I understand the argument is he wants to win.
He wants to
in New York because that would mean ever so important.
He would pull LeBron.
But no, he don't really want to win.
He would pull LeBron. But I mean, look at Braun though. Look at Braun. I mean, granted, he had Kyrie on the team.
Yeah, LeBron didn't have to gut the team. LeBron made sure the team was loaded before he came back.
No, but he still traded like literally their biggest asset at the time. I mean, second biggest asset in Wiggins. So and then Kevin Love came over there. So was the championship loaded? Nah, but
it's in the Eastern Conference. Add LeBron to any team is championship level in the Eastern Conference.
That still remains to be seen. If the Heat would have stayed together with a healthy Chris Bosh, as far as Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade, I mean, they might have, they could have possibly done something, man. So, LeBron does dominate the East. That's fair enough. But Melo obviously isn't the same player as LeBron, and so it's an L. It's an L regardless. And yeah. I think the Knicks fans would get tired of Melo, man. Like I think it's a lose if Melo stays. Like, yeah, he can.
Yeah, man. Everybody's turning against Phil. It's becoming more glaring that Phil is the problem.
I understand Phil's a problem, but also Melo had his literally statistically best year with under Phil, which was like a year ago or 2 years ago. So whenever Porzingis came through, so a year ago. So like, okay, I get it. Over a year, it turned sour or whatever, and like the whole, it's not good. But Melo's best statistical year was under Phil Jackson as the president, literally in his career. And so we're talking about all across the board. And so like, he's not good. Like, and he still couldn't get him to the AFC. Like what? Like, I don't understand. They need to blow that team up. They need to go around. He needs to not be selfish, not tie up their future. Let him build around Porzingis, man. He's a black hole. He's a black hole, bro.
When Isaiah Thomas was the president, can you name me a Knicks player on that team? Then when Isaiah Thomas was the president of the Knicks.
We had no, you're right. They gutted the team back then.
But you can't think of none of the players that Isaiah added to try to win, and know why you can't think of? Because Isaiah Thomas was a scapegoat, just like Phil Jackson's going to be. It don't matter what Melo do. Phil Jackson he screwed himself over.
Screwed himself over trying to resurrect the franchise, or what? Because he's the one who drafted Porzingis, bro.
That's one pick. Where the other picks at?
I thought
they didn't trade them.
Yeah, they did.
It's Phil traded them.
Yeah.
Why would Phil sign Joakim Noah all that money?
Hey, man. Hey.
That's what and Derrick Rose.
Hey,
Phil Jackson re-signed Carmelo Anthony. These are his trusts. He tied up the franchise. Hey, you trying to scapegoat Carmelo?
I'm not trying to look. What I'm saying is that I'm not trying to score. I'm saying I think his tenure is up, man. Like
Phil Jackson 10 years up.
What can Melo do that he hasn't done? I don't understand. Even it's still the East. I don't care who else it is. Could you imagine Westbrook on the East then, bruh? Could you imagine Westbrook on the East? Like I don't understand. What can Melo do that he hasn't done, being the player that we all either think he is or he is, regardless. Melo is not able to take the Knicks anywhere. He can't even take them to the 8th seed on the East. I don't care what Phil Jackson has done. Joakim Noah's not making your team worse than it was before. Like,
I think he did.
I mean, he did, yeah. But like, it's still Melo. Like, you have Porzingis, which is literally, arguably, the best big man, young big man. You could go with Cat or him, whatever, in the league. So it's like Porzingis is not going to slow down. He's only going to get better. You know that nigga hungry, and you have the best shooter, one of the best big man shooters in Melo. Like I don't see, and Derrick Rose had a spark when he first started, and Brandon Jennings is actually playing decent, and they still couldn't get anywhere. Like triangle or not, like they're the Knicks, dog. Like I don't know, bro. Like if I was Melo, I would be tired of it, man. Like I would be tired of the losing culture. You said it already. He doesn't want to win. So
exactly.
So I mean, it is what it is. Like it's a lose, but it'll be only a win in a personal way. If he wants to be a professional, he should leave the team, man. He should leave the team because he's not.
Well, he can't do that because he's under contract. So,
but he can get.
He doesn't make the trades. He doesn't make the trades.
But he can wait.
Never had. Hey, he never told the team he was interested in going to the Heat and the Clippers. Phil Jackson chose not to make those trades. Again, Phil Jackson is hindering the coach with a scheme nobody wants to run. The players all hate the scheme. I'm seeing everything leading to Phil Jackson. Why is the team playing bad? Because players don't want to play the triangle. Oh, the coach can't play his own system. Jeff Hornacek was doing well on the Suns before the whole let's have 5 point guards at the same time debacle. He goes to the Knicks. He gets screwed over by Phil. It's over. Well, this is all Phil's fault.
So Phil is the reason why. I mean, if we gonna argue, if we gonna add that, if we gonna take that into consideration, Melo is still not the player that he should be. You know, I feel like Melo, scheme or not, man, like he ain't producing. He is not producing, and so I get it. You know, he's Brooklyn's own or whatnot, and you know. He was the first player beside Amari Stoudemire that actually wanted to go to the Knicks and try to resurrect that franchise, man. But it's a cursed franchise. Let's be honest, bro. It's not.
Pretty much it. It's a curse, man. Nobody likes New York.
So
you need a New York team.
so it is. You know, I can't. I feel. You know, it hurt. It doesn't hurt, but I feel like Melo should go, like you said, to the Clippers. Obviously, everybody was saying that. You know. He has 3 teams. If the Clippers stay together for whatever goodness reason, Clippers, the Bulls would have been great. You know, he should have gone to the Bulls when he had a chance, or the Celtics. Like those are the only 3 teams besides the Cavs, because you know I'm sure Melo will take a pay cut to get a ring. If he would have went to those 3 teams, the 2 teams on the East, the Bulls and the Celtics, would have legitimately had a chance to go to see a 7-game series against the Cavs. Whether they win or lose, it would have been a 7-game series, I believe. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Hell, even if he went to the Pacers, it could have been a 7-game series. They would have probably just played Paul George at maybe like at the 2 or something, or maybe have Melo at the 4. But shoot, man, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think Melo. I don't think Melo should stay. I think Melo should leave. And if you feel like he just wants to lose, I mean, not necessarily he wants to lose, but he's not the winner. That I think the player of his accolade should be a winner, and he's not. And so I don't understand why he gets the love that he does. You know, he's not like Chris Paul.
That's the Jackson why. Why not? Melo got more playoff success than Chris Paul.
Not necessarily. They both. I don't even remember Melo going to the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, he got to the Western Conference Finals, but he had a real stacked team.
In the West, yeah.
He had a real stacked.
So that's Chris Paul.
Hey, but Chris Paul.
What has Chris Paul done with a stacked team?
Hey, but Chris Paul.
That's the point.
Hey, but Chris Paul's a point guard though. Chris Paul's a point guard. Like
did he not play with one of the best power forward in the league?
Yeah.
What type of player did Melo play with like that?
Melo had a stacked team back then, man. What are you talking about?
And then he had young J.R. Smith, who was even more reckless.
Yeah, he had
Nene, who was not nowhere near Blake Griffin.
He had Nene.
He had a downside Allen Iverson. He had a downside Chuck Lee. Chauncey Billups.
No. Chauncey Billups was.
Yeah, this after winning the rings, he came through.
Yes, but that Chauncey Billups is the reason why that team went that far. You could make that argument because he was literally able to ground that team. Him and Iverson actually played smart that series like that year too. Like those two guys.
Well, it was Melo's fault because he got suspended.
Yeah,
but again, Melo ain't never played with nobody like Blake Griffin.
Right.
Like what a point guard need, a power forward, and that's exactly what. And they did nothing. And he has a center who can jump out just as well.
I don't know, man. And JJ Redick is a shooter, so I don't know, man.
But then you can definitely blame Doc for what's happening with the Clippers because he sold their future away.
Oh yeah. Anyway, JC, man. I mean, we talk long enough, bro. I mean, I know the people miss you, man. So hopefully you can come back on, bro. Anything you want to say, man? You know, I know the people want to have you get a Twitter, man. When you gonna go hop onto that Twitter handle, bro?
Man, when I don't know. When Curry wins the MVP, dog, that's when I'll do finals MVP.
You don't think he gonna win it this year, man? I mean, you got the Cavs winning. You got the Cavs. Who gonna win MVP then?
It's gonna be KD.
Well, they can't be a losing team. You got the Cavs winning.
No, if the Warriors win, it's gonna go to either Draymond or KD.
Okay. So is this the beginning of the end of Steph Curry now?
Oh no, he's still a great player. He had a down year just compared to his 2 years before, but he's definitely still top 2 point guard. But his reign as the best player for a season, that's over. All right. He had a good run.
Also, and then who getting that Finals MVP on the because you know we're gonna have to talk about. You're gonna have to come back on just talk about the finals. Who getting it on the Cavs?
It just goes with LeBron automatically. It's just like back in when the Lakers was winning it, and Kobe carries the team to the finals and. They give it to Shaq anyway. Kyrie's going to put all types of work in the finals. They're going to give it to LeBron anyway.
You don't think Kyrie will get the respect that he deserves this year? Fair enough. All right, everybody. You know, you can check us out at FTESWL.com. Stay blessed. Stay positive.
Stay righteous.
We out.